Be as extra as you want.
It's time for Big 12 Conference Volleyball. From a snowy Ames, Iowa at Hilton Coliseum, we bring you Kansas State and number 21, Iowa State. Hi again, everyone, with Abby Griman. This is BJ Shaban, and here we go, the final day of the regular season with the NCAA tournament right around the corner. You have two teams that are vying to get into the tournament. And of course, when we look at the Big 12 Conference standings, we see Arizona State, the clear number one, Iowa State battling for the number two, and Kansas State trying to get an upper division finish. And a win would go a long way today for the Wildcats. And Abby, there are going to be some playmakers out on the court today.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll start on the Kansas State side of the net. Number 14 senior outside hitter Shaylee Myers having a fantastic senior season. Leads the Big 12 in kills per set at 4.74. Also is second in total points. So great six rotation outside hitter. Was recently drafted in the Major League Volleyball draft, round 2 to the Atlanta Vibe. So really respected on the professional level as well. And on the other side of the net for Tierney Jackson, another senior, right side, number 3. She was 4th on the team in kills at 205 this season, hitting a cool 316 there. She did not play against K-State when the two teams played in Manhattan, so it will be a new wrinkle to the offense for K-State to see today. Primarily a slide hitter on that right side, so add some great dimension to Iowa State there.
Iowa State, Kansas State. There is the head coach for Kansas State, Jason Mansfield, in his 3rd season. Led the Wildcats to 10 wins against ranked opponents, including this season. They have 4. They're going for number 5 today, and they enter this afternoon at number 36 in the RPI. His brother Aaron, by the way, the head coach at Oklahoma. Well, these two met earlier this season, in which Iowa State bested the Wildcats 3-2 in Manhattan. That was back on the October the 8th. And there is the head coach for Iowa State, Christy Johnson-Lynch. The team picked 9th at the beginning of the season. That's where they were expected to finish in the Big 12, but they have done a lot of really good things along the way, led by head coach Johnson-Lynch's guidance as they try to make the NCAA tournament for the 17th time since she's been here, and of course reached the 400 milestone a few games back against TCU. Well, here's what's at stake. Kansas State trying to get their 5th win against a ranked team and get their 4th straight win against Iowa State and Ames, where they've been very, very good. And for Iowa State, trying to get their season sweep against Kansas State, and their 1st in Ames since 2021. And you know what? We mentioned NCAA selection show coming up tomorrow afternoon. They're trying to up their seed.
Yeah, absolutely. Right now, both teams looking at probably an NCAA tournament berth. K-State a little bit less comfortable with that than Iowa State. A win here today would go a long way to improve that. But, you know, certainly both teams still with a lot to play for and a lot of volleyball ahead of them this season. Well,
the Big 12 has 7 teams that are in the top 25 of the ACBA poll. And when you look at the RPI, they have 10 teams in the top 45. Last year, just getting 6 teams into the tournament, trying to best that this season. Well, here we go. Iowa State, Kansas State, K-State will start on the serve wearing their white uniforms with purple, and Iowa State wearing their traditional cardinal and gold as we're about ready to get underway from Hilton Coliseum. Interesting crowd arriving here today. In fact, a blizzard and a winter storm warning happening throughout the entire central Iowa area. With the two teams on the court as Myers on the attack, able to get the opening point here for Kansas State.
Yeah, Kansas State loves to use those outside hitters. Very pin-heavy defense. We're going to see a lot of her and number 5, Anaya Clinton, today.
So Kaylee Pawn on the serve. Brandt feeds the middle to Hendricks Walker. Great up that time by Simone Sims. And it turns into a Wildcat point.
Myers showing off her toolbox there. Got a couple different shots here already in the first 2 points here.
Kansas State coming off of a 3-2 loss to Central Florida on Wednesday night in Manhattan. Iowa State lost to Kansas 3-1 here at Hilton on Wednesday night. Brandt with the up, Jackson. It'll be a free ball here for the Wildcats. LeGrand setting the outside, and it pays off as Jordan Williams will get the kill. And how about this? The Wildcats jumping out to a 3-0 lead.
Kansas State so far definitely looking a little bit more composed, a little bit smoother.
Back to work again with Pond. Brandt to Maya Duckworth, trying to sky it high. Williams is there. Duckworth again with the blast. This time will go off of the fingertips of Jordan Williams, and Iowa State gets a much-needed side out.
Great swing to get going there by Maya Duckworth, using the block there. You know, not getting afraid of those players in front of her, but just tooling it off the outside hand.
Cyclones serve it rather aggressively. Myers, Van Gorp with the up. Back row attack, Tia. Myers again, and she has such a powerful swing. Side out Wildcats.
Yeah, there's a reason she leads the Big 12 in kills per set. You know, she can do it all, from transition, serve, receive, all of it.
Shaylee Myers now on serve, trying to track down 1,000 kills in her career. With 3 kills already, just 16 away from that milestone. Brandt leaves it to the middle, and how about this? Abby Brenizer, the junior from Norwalk, Iowa, gets the side out for Iowa State.
Love that run from Morgan Brandt there as a setter, finding her middle earlier. Always good to establish that early in a set, make that block guest on the other side of the court.
Tierney Jackson serving, had 5 aces in a row earlier this season against UCF. Big blast. And no touch. Anaya Clinton with the attack air.
As I mentioned earlier, both number 5 Anaya Clinton and number 14 Shaylee Myers, huge features in this K-State offense. So going to get a lot of balls today.
Yeah, in fact, coming into the season, Anaya Clinton getting a lot of the pub, if you will. Preseason all Big 12 candidate. Having a solid season, but not like Myers, as Williams goes with the blast, and Kansas State will get the side out.
Great grab by Ava LeGrand to go up there. It was a little bit of a tight serve receive ball, but she got her hands on it, you know, held that middle blocker with her and pushed it right behind to get that one-on-one opportunity for Williams behind the setter.
Wildcats lead it by 2. Here's Emerson Van Lannen, the redshirt freshman out of Kimberly, Wisconsin. Cyclones go to Duckworth. LeGrand to the outside. Brandt. Tia will put it up, trying to hustle for the ball. Iowa State will give it right back to K-State. But tremendous hustle there by Ava Martin, but the Wildcats able to capitalize right back on it as they go up by 3.
Yeah, Ava LeGrand, a great all-around player for this K-State team, showing off another facet of her game there with the kill.
And it will be a service error. As Maya Duckworth will now be on serve. Of course, her final game here at Hilton Coliseum as a senior. 10th all-time in kills for a Cyclone. Brandt leaves it up to Tia. Up that time by Clinton. They go swinging around, and how about that off of the slide? Brenna Schmidt able to capitalize.
When we talked to Coach Mansfield earlier this week, he mentioned really important, you know, they have 2 big guns on the outside, but a balanced offense was going to be a key to winning this game. Already seen Ava LeGrand looking to find those middles and be offensive herself, so something to keep an eye on as we go forward in this match.
Ava LeGrand able to get the assist there, also closing in on 1,000 assists on the season. Opportunity out of system here for K-State. Williams with the blast, and it'll be capitalized as she was set up nicely by Simone Sims.
Yeah, great use of that block there, just on that inside hand of Brenizer. Good solid swing from Clinton.
The Wildcats out to their largest lead here in the opening set. That hits tape, Brenizer after it. Tia. And a little too strong. as the Wildcats go up by 5 here early on.
K-State certainly putting some good pressure on, keeping Iowa State from really getting in an offensive flow here early in this match.
Kansas State coming into the season felt pretty good about their chances as Durandi runs right into the wall, and that wall is called Anaya Clinton.
Yeah. Kansas State not typically, getting a ton of blocks per set, but when they get those opportunities, they're sure going to take them there.
Cyclones take a timeout. We will too. You're watching Big 12 volleyball here on ESPN+.
Ryan Miller.
Nate Jones.
Gina Costa.
Grabs his phone.
Checks his notifications.
Opens the Fidelity app.
With Fidelity, it's easier than ever to invest the way you want.
Ding, ding, ding.
Get a second opinion.
Nate likes what he sees.
Set your investment to automatic and buy U.S. stocks and ETFs for as little as $1.
With no fees or commissions. Because that's how Gina likes to invest.
Same page?
That was easier than I thought.
Talk about easier investing.
10-4 Kansas State with their largest lead here in the opening set as they're up by 6. And how about these Wildcats trying to improve their NCAA tournament chances? Coming into this match today with an RPI at number 36. And there are so many things that are happening here towards the tail end of the regular season. Big 12 Conference does not play a tournament, but a lot of those tournament conference champions, as we see an ace out of Ava LeGrand, have already occurred. And the Wildcats really coming into the match today with just a just-win mentality.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, they're kind of right on that bubble there. Probably in a good spot, but certainly would feel a lot better coming out of Hilton Coliseum with a win.
Tia able to get the side out for Iowa State. Can the Cyclones get it going here? Started off very cold the other night against Kansas. And another slow start here this afternoon as K-State had built a 7-point advantage. As Brenizer will serve. And a free ball here for Iowa State. Brandt to the middle to Hendricks Walker, and that did get in.
Yeah, the middles have been a huge feature of Iowa State's offense this entire year, and really good to see Morgan Brandt continue to run that there. I think that's an area where they can really capitalize against this Kansas State team.
Well, they feature it, but it's been a different player, it seems like, for Iowa State all season with their middles.
Absolutely.
A lot of injuries.
Yeah, but we've seen, next man up mentality as we see a great swing there from Nayeli Tia on the outside pin. We've seen Reagan Hanfelt, we've seen Pam McCune, now we're with Amiri Hendricks Walker and Abby Brenizer, and they've all done a great job of stepping up and just being exactly what this team needs them to be.
And for Iowa State, getting some really good news. Pam McCune actually went through warm-ups today, but not expected to play as K-State able to get the side out there.
McCune coming back would give him some great depth going into an NCAA tournament run here, and that's something that Iowa State has a lot of and utilizes very well.
Here's Anaya Clinton, the redshirt junior out of Midland, Texas. And coming off of a performance in which she had 15 kills the other night against UCF. Tia set up, goes high. Great pancake on the ball by LeGrand. Brandt back to work to the outside. Tia this time able to swing through it, and Iowa State will get the side out.
Tia, great job of being patient there. Tipped that first ball right over the block. Maybe didn't love the look she got at it, but got a free ball, got the offense in system, took a great swing right in the seam of that block.
Morgan Brandt now serving. Over 1,035 assists on the season now. Brandt will lay it up for Tia again. Sims with the up. LeGrand gonna have to hustle. Now Myers, roll shot, handled by Van Gorp. Brandt again to the outside to Tia, tried to cut it. Myers, great scouting report right on the dime, and the back row attack is blocked back by Amiri Hendricks Walker.
Some great defense there in that rally, but one thing I want to point out, Shaylee Myers receiving that first ball off the serve. She's pulled back right now, has to pass to attack on that outside there, and I would guess we'll see that Iowa State coaching staff go at those outside hitters. They carry a huge load offensively, try to wear them down in serve, receive, and defense as well.
Service error by Iowa State. These two, when they played earlier this season in Manhattan, chalked up a lot of service errors. Each had over 7 in that opening match.
Something that's plagued Iowa State quite a bit this season.
Jackson off the slide. Myers, Brandt, overpass. LeGrand to the middle. Van Gorp right there. Mary Hendricks Walker goes deep. LeGrand again goes to Myers. Big swing. Iowa State with the up. Out of system here for the Cyclones. Jackson. A long point as Sims will lay it up for Myers. And Van Gorp, the water bug on the court, turns into an Iowa State point as Tia is able to cap it off.
The last couple of rallies, we've seen some great defense, and that's certainly a calling card of both of these programs. Iowa State leads the Big 12 in digs per set. Kansas State third coming into this match. I would guess we're going to see a lot of great defense, a lot of long rallies here today.
Nayeli Tia now serving. What a campaign for her, the transfer from San Jose State. Myers has to run after it. Brandt lays it up to Jackson off the slide. It's blocked back that time, and Jordan Williams with another block. Came into this match leading the team with 85 and already has a couple on the afternoon here. And Jackson able to get the fast go opportunity, cranking. Cyclones get the side out.
Yeah, Tierney Jackson moved from the middle to the right side this year, but doesn't mean she doesn't still have some of those middle tricks up her sleeve there. Morgan Brandt moving her players around there to get a little bit different look for Kansas State out of that serve receive.
And when you need a point and a side out, Kansas State knows who to go to in Shaylee Myers. 22 kills the other night, 3 assists against UCF. And now on serve. And Tierney Jackson. Is Iowa State able to capitalize on that?
Going back to that discussion of moving Tierney from the middle to the right side, that means we see her run a lot more of those slide plays like that, where she comes into the court and then runs off of 1 foot behind the setter. Adds a great wrinkle to the offense, a little bit faster set, just something else for the blockers on the Kansas State side to worry about.
LeGrand, the back pass. Williams off the slide.
And as we just talked about the slide, you see K-State execute it wonderfully there. Great set from Ava LeGrand. They run a really fast offense, so that ball doesn't get much over the tape. Williams runs really fast, gets on it, makes it really difficult for Iowa State to put a double block in front of that.
I think we're going to feature or see that a lot this afternoon be featured, the slide. Each team performing it pretty well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Martin to the outside to Duckworth. How about Maya, the creativity in midair, able to punch that off of the fingertips of a Wildcat to get the side out.
Yeah, maybe not an ideal set there, a little bit tight, but Maya, if there's one thing she's crafty. She can find a ball and do something with it in a lot of different ways.
So the preseason all Big 12 player serving for Iowa State. Back row attack with Myers, and that's going to be blocked out.
Yeah, we talked about the versatility of Shaylee Myers. The one thing about having outside hitters that can play 6 rotations is you get to utilize that back row attack as part of your offense, particularly if there's a transition play or you have one of your front row players playing off blocker defense. That's a great option for them there.
Kansas State running a 5-1 pretty much most of the season. Ava LeGrand on the serve. As Van Gorp with the hustle. Durandi will push it across. Here's LeGrand now in the front line, goes to Brandt and gets the assist.
Love that swing from Brenna Schmidt. Getting off the net in transition, getting up, taking a great rip at the ball. Goes back to that balanced offense that we talked about.
And what a season for Ava LeGrand. Coming into the year, Coach Jason Mansfield not sure who was going to be his setter. Ava took over from the opening practice and has owned that spot all the way throughout, as Iowa State gets a much-needed side out.
Yeah, Coach Mansfield talked a lot about just breathing confidence into her and enabling her to go out there and being a great part of this team, and she's done it all for them this season. Is a great defensive player as well, serves a great ball, and then sets up, these fantastic hitters for a lot of success.
LeGrand Going high that time, feeds a new candidate in Reagan Fox as she gets her first kill of the day.
Reagan Fox, that right side hitting on the outside pin there in serve receive, but another part of that offense that we'd really like to see Ava LeGrand continue to use to get some of that pressure off of those outsides.
Kansas State with 4 players with 100 or more kills on the season. Of course, an ace here by Anaya Clinton. And the Wildcats jump up to a 6-point lead. They had a lead as large as 7. And Christy Johnson Lynch and Iowa State will burn their second time out here in the opening set. As you see, Kansas State able to get a couple of aces. And as we look at the RPI top 40, there's a lot of Big 12 conference teams sprinkled amongst them. Arizona State, as of today, dropped down, even though they won the other day, from 3 to 4. Then you've got Kansas at number 15, followed by BYU, TCU, Colorado, Iowa State checking in at number 23, dropping 3 spots after the loss to Kansas, and K-State at number 36, then Utah at 39. Arizona, by the way, on the outside looking in at 42.
Yeah, the Big 12 has been an extremely strong conference this year. A ton of depth. You know, conference realignment has had its pros and cons, but for Big 12 volleyball has brought a lot of great teams in. A little bit of the West Coast flavor there.
Kansas State really beefing up their non-conference schedule, and it's paid off, as you see with the RPI. Even though they're 16-9 on the season, 9-8 in the Big 12, trying to gain some momentum. Winners of 4 of their last 6 matches. They have 4 wins against ranked opponents, trying to get number 5 here today. But, man, can they play defense? 3rd in the Big 12.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I mentioned, that's something that Jason Mansfield and his program take a lot of pride in. They commit to defense, and they do a really good job of, you know, playing it. And on the other side, you've got a program in Iowa State that is very similar in that stance. You know, has long been called Libero U for all of their development of great defensive players, and liberos have another great one in Rachel Van Gorp here. So should be a really fun match as these 2 teams get warmed up to see that defense going back and forth.
And Nia Clinton, after the timeout, still on serve. Durandi, it's going to be batted down right at the net by Reagan Fox.
And the service pressure from Kansas State has just been great. Iowa State, typically a very efficient, offensive-minded team. You want to make them one-dimensional. You want to make them get out of system, be on the run, make it difficult for their setters to deliver a good ball.
Martin to Wachholtz. And Lily Wachholtz into the lineup, putting a lot of pressure on that Kansas State defense. Gets a much-needed side out here.
Yeah, great individual effort there by Fox, but just couldn't quite keep it off the ground and keep that one going.
Kansas State right now downhill to 25. Iowa State trying to make a go of it. Morgan Brandt serving. Into the middle. Brandt, how about that? A little lollipop in the middle. As Schmidt takes care of it for K-State. Here's Simone Sims. Brandt to Tia. Big blast on the outside on that pin.
Great swing again, just like Maya Duckworth earlier, looking to use those hands, not afraid of that block in front of her, but swinging hard, swinging high, looking for edges and seams and ready to go off that. That's an area I think Iowa State can also really capitalize on against this Kansas State team.
12 attempts, 6 kills for Nayeli Tia, hitting right at .417 in this opening set. LeGrand to the outside, and look out below, Reagan Fox putting a charge into that ball. That's her 3rd kill. K-State hitting above 400 right now, hitting .455 in the opener.
And I would say Coach Mansfield's goal of a balanced offense is really paying dividends here today.
Brandt to Duckworth, blocked back that time by Williams. And Jordan Williams is having herself a day.
Yeah, the K-State block we talked about, not necessarily in the top of the conference there, but coming up really big today when they need it.
So here's set point. Pond will serve. LeGrand puts it up. Myers just gets it over and gets it right back and deposits it down as Kansas State will take the opening set couple of overpasses, and Myers right there to finish it here for the Wildcats. They take the opening set 25-16 as you're watching Big 12 volleyball here on ESPN+.
They say that imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. Maybe that's why scientists are trying to recreate real meat. But why tamper with what Mother Nature has already perfected? A high-quality protein, Iowa-raised meat is the original health food, with 9 essential amino acids necessary for the human diet, sustainably raised by Iowa farm families. But hey, keep at it. It's flattering that so many products want to be us.
What's affordable to her might not be for him. Our means may be different, but our need for energy is the same. And keeping the price for that energy as low as possible is exactly what we strive to do. It's what we've always done. Investments made 10 years ago have kept prices nearly unchanged. Investments made today will help keep prices predictable for the future. With energy that's cleaner, reliable, and affordable for all. An energy future that's American-made. Mid-American. Obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
As the weather grows colder, lawn mowing season is coming to an end. Before you put your John Deere and other equipment away for winter, sign it up for a winter service special at Van Wall Equipment. Our expertly trained technicians will get your equipment tuned up, sharpened, and ready for another season. For a limited time, we're including free pickup and delivery to make it easy and convenient for you to keep your equipment running at its best. Visit vanwall.com for more information and to sign up today.
There's a spirit of innovation radiating from the Iowa State campus. You can feel it flowing through every building and in the hearts and minds of every person who studies and works here. It inspires a culture of creativity and collaboration unlike any other university, which is just one reason Iowa State was honored as the Entrepreneurial University of the Year for the Americas. At Iowa State, the spirit of innovation is in everyone, guiding us to create a brighter future for all.
25-16, K-State takes the opener here in this best of 5 as you're watching Big 12 volleyball here on ESPN Plus with Abby Griman. I'm BJ Shaven. We look at the first set. How about K-State's hitting right at .471 in that opener?
Yeah, really great percentage there. Hard not to be happy about that if you're Coach Mansfield. And for Iowa State, you just want to see them get a little bit grittier on defense. You know, dig in, dig a few more balls. Give their offense a chance to get in rhythm because clearly 237 is not a bad number, but they would probably like to see that a little bit higher there, particularly when Kansas State is hitting .471.
So back-to-back matches for the Cyclones to a cold start, but you look at the overall picture, and it's really bright for Iowa State. 22-6 on the year. 12-5 in Big 12 conference play. Lost their first home match of the season against Kansas. And they have 4 wins against ranked opponents of the season. Right now, 23rd in the RPI. And when that offense gets going, it gets going. Right now, 8th in Division I, averaging just over 14 kills per set.
Yeah, they lead the Big 12 in both kills and assists. They're 4th in overall hitting percentage. So great offense when this team, you can really feel a rhythm, but we have yet to see that today. And I would like to give a lot of credit to Kansas State's service pressure for that. They've been going back behind the line, being really aggressive, not making too many errors, and forcing this Iowa State team to really earn points. And so far, they haven't quite been able to figure that out.
Your officials today, William Stanley is referee 1, Brett Myers referee 2, and he was just going over the lineup for Iowa State. They had some changes that they made as the Cyclones will start on serve. And out on the floor, it'll be Rachel Van Gorp, Morgan Brandt, Nayeli Tia, Abby Brenizer, and Faith Durandi serve it along with Paula Kreslik, who just gets the up there. To the outside, Tia, blocked back Van Gorp with the up. Again, Tia goes high. Along that back line was Clinton. Myers with the blast, handled. Tia again tries to cut the dice, and that time couldn't get enough on it.
Like the idea by Tia there, just a really difficult shot to hit that sharp 4-4, looking to drop that in where there isn't a defender on that K-State side.
Here's Kaylee Pond, the freshman from Roanoke again to serve. Brandt goes for it herself. And it's attack air. Iowa State saying maybe there was a touch. Let's take a look.
Yeah, Christy Johnson-Lynch chooses not to challenge there. I think that's probably a good idea, but would love to see Morgan Brandt get a little bit more offensive when she's in the front row.
Tia will get it over. 2-0 Kansas State lead. And how about that dump in the middle by Ava LeGrand?
As we talk about Morgan Brandt looking to get a little bit more offensive here on the Iowa State side. Already seen a couple of kills here for Ava LeGrand on the K-State side, doing a really good job of moving that around, pushing it forward. That one over her head there.
Brandt will track it down. Durandi from the back row. Tia out of system. K-State with Myers. And Kreslik able to find it. And an attack error by Iowa State, and the Wildcats jump out to a 4-0 lead. See K-State's defense really getting after it today.
Yeah, absolutely. Some great ups in that run. Gave their hitters a chance to capitalize.
Bond attacking that back row. LeGrand went to the middle that time to Williams. Iowa State back row attack, and there's Faith Durandi able to get the much needed side out for Iowa State.
Love that decision by Morgan Brandt there to find Faith Durandi out of the back row. There was some confusion there in the front row, a little bit of transition, and found the hitter that was available there coming out of the back.
Brenizer served it aggressively. Myers has to punch it deep, and it works out. How about that? Shaylee Myers with another kill. That's her 7th.
Great range that she's showing, you know, knows when to use that hard swing, knows when to look for the seam in the block, and there, that set a little bit inside, knows right where to put that deep corner. Great spot.
Brandt to Tia. Played up. Sims will throw it to the other side of the court. And it pays off as they stretch things out, as the Wildcats able to get the kill from Anaya Clinton.
K-State attackers continue to be aggressive, taking big swings, even though it's maybe not a perfect set, and doing a good job of using Iowa State's block to score.
And that gets in for the ace, the purest of aces for Myers. And Iowa State will take a timeout. 7-1 Wildcats.
Something simple sounds good for breakfast. Oh, look. Say yes to simple.
Meet your new Dell PC with Intel inside. Not only is it a great holiday helper, it's a great deal too. With all-day battery life to power through your to-dos, so you have extra free time and extra savings. Which means this holiday season, you can be as extra as you want.
7-1 Kansas State with a lead on Iowa State here in the second set. They took the opener 25-16. As the Wildcats have things rolling here against the Cyclones.
Yeah, K-State doing a really good job of just keeping the pressure on Iowa State, not giving them a chance to get into a flow or feel comfortable with where they're at. You see that hitting percentage continuing to drop for Iowa State, down to 146 now. And Kansas State just needs to keep their foot on the gas.
Wildcats lost to Iowa State in 5 sets in their previous meeting between the two. And coming off of a loss against UCF as they get another block by Clinton. And it's been interesting, you know, their focus, Jason Mansfield has said, is just to come to Ames and win. They've won 4 in a row in this series in Ames. And you would think they'd be thrown off a little bit. There's, you know, coming off of a home loss on senior night. Here's Tia. Then, of course, battling a blizzard coming in to the arena today. And their focus has solely been on trying to capture a victory.
Yeah, they look pretty unruffled so far, siding out really well, not letting Iowa State get on a ton of runs. just taking care of their side of the net and being aggressive.
It's back-to-back sets in which K-State has been able to get up by 7. LeGrand off the slide. Williams, that's going to be an overpass over. Now Sims to LeGrand. Back row attack. Myers just couldn't get it over the tape. And Iowa State will take the side out.
Like the idea by Ava LeGrand there. Never a bad option when you can find Shaylee Myers, as we've seen so far tonight. That set maybe just a little bit low for the route that Myers was running there.
See that hitting percentage for the match. Cyclones will set it up. Brandt off the slide. Jackson again blocked back by K-State.
That's one there that Iowa State might want back. You get a free ball, you really want to capitalize on that.
That's a second block here in the second set for the Wildcats. Here's Emerson Van Lanen. Battle at the net. K-State's going to get it as a net violation committed by Iowa State.
Yeah, and Morgan Brandt currently a back row setter, so that ball that goes a little bit tight, very little that she can do with that. She can't play that ball above the plane of the net.
Brandt to Tia. Side out Iowa State.
It would be great to see Iowa State get Nayeli Tia going. She's been big these past couple of matches here. Feels like she kind of starts to heat up as the match goes on. The more she plays, the more comfortable she gets, the bigger her swings get, and that would be something that would be great for this Iowa State team here.
Well, they've been trying. That's her 21st attempt of the afternoon for Nayeli Tia. LeGrand with quick dump. How about Van Gorp with the up? Duckworth blasted it deep. LeGrand to the outside. Clinton. Van Gorp again with the up. Now Brandt to Duckworth. And a little too much on the ball. An attack error as K-State goes back up by 7.
Iowa State can't capitalize there, but man, Rachel Van Gorp with a couple huge digs. She's such a fun defender to watch. Really good at her position. Really takes charge of that backcourt there for Iowa State.
Mary Hendricks Walker able to get the side out for Iowa State.
And again, we see that combination there where Tierney Jackson runs through the middle. Amiri Hendricks Walker, excuse me, right behind Morgan Brandt, running a double quick there, throws off the block, gives him the point.
LeGrand goes back to Clinton. Van Gorp again got low. And Duckworth able to seal it for Iowa State. But that play created by Rachel Van Gorp. Watch this.
Just always seems like she's in the right place at the right time, does a great job of reading the ball, has great instincts defensively.
Grand back row attack, Myers. Opportunity again for the Wildcats, Clinton. Tia forces it forward, Brent Iser with the high tip. Wood blocked back by Jackson.
That play set up by a great block touch by Maya Duckworth, allowing that ball to get slowed down and dug by Nayeli Tia. Cyclones able to capitalize there.
Fox gave it as much as she could, but Tierney holding strong. Brandt, Duckworth, blocked back and in. How about that for Anaya Clinton? She's having a day.
That was a great press by her. You see that ball go straight down. You know that blocker is in exactly the right spot. Great timing. Gets those hands over the net. Absolutely shuts Duckworth down there.
Clinton and Williams really putting on a display at the net. Duckworth again with the blast. LeGrand, high tip, and Schmidt will get the out for K-State.
Brenna Schmidt showing she's able to score in a variety of ways, and that's a really important factor as a middle, you know, being able to find that ball in different situations and put it in different parts of the court.
Yeah, the 6'6" senior out of Eagle, Nebraska, really making some big-time contributions. Actually missed the first meeting against Iowa State because of an injury. LeGrand to Myers. That's going to be too strong. Side out Iowa State.
Rare miss for Shaylee Myers there. She's, still hitting 263 now on the day, only 2 errors. But again, over time, you're probably better off giving that ball to Shaylee Myers than not.
Ava Martin in to serve. Also Lily Wachholtz will sub into the front row. And a service error.
See, Iowa State switched into a 6-2 offense here, taking Morgan Brandt and Tierney Jackson off the court. Provides them, 3 hitters in the front row at all times, continue to have that back row setter. Just a little bit more offensive options for this team.
Iowa State the other night against Kansas, as that one had Myers. A couple of opportunities for the Wildcats. Martin will pop it over. K-State tries to send it deep. Van Gorp to Martin. Duckworth. K-State has been out of sorts here on this point. Out of system here for the Cyclones as Wachholtz will get the point. And the assist goes to Van Gorp.
Some early miscommunication on the Iowa State side there, but they stuck with it. They resettled. Beautiful out of system set by Rachel Van Gorp. Really good swing off high hands there for Lily Wachholtz.
Cyclones winners of 8 of their last 11 matches. LeGrand goes to the middle, and Brenizer got handcuffed on the ball. Side out Kansas State.
Jordan Williams continues to have a really good night, both offensively and defensively there, getting that kill.
Now the freshman Aaliyah Goolsby wants to check into the match for Duckworth, and she'll be in. So she'll be on that back row.
Yeah, we've seen Goolsby come in here in these past couple matches for Duckworth in this situation. She's been a great spark plug. Young player, high ceiling, lots of athletic talent. We'll see if she can get them a little bit more on track.
K-State goes right after, and it turns into a point on the overpass as Shaylee Myers will deposit that one down. That's her 8th kill. Wachholtz blast handled by Kansas State. Martin to Wachholtz, finding that corner. Sims with the hustle. And it'll be put over by Pond. What a play by the Wildcats. Wachholtz this time with the blast. Lily will put it up. Martin to Brenizer. Couldn't get square, and it'll be 4 hits. As Kansas State, the hustle, the determination pays off to get that point.
Yeah, great defense there from Kansas State. Just not giving up on that ball. Never say die attitude, and it pays off. Iowa State looking to go to Lily Wachholtz quite a bit there. She takes some great swings, but again, just that K-State defense is relentless.
Largest lead here of the set for Kansas State on a 3-0 run. Tia, too strong. And Kansas State, very comfortable. Christy Johnson-Lynch is going to burn the second time out here in the second set for Iowa State. You see the attack errors sitting at 9. The Wildcats really forcing the issue. And when the two played in Manhattan earlier this season, it went to 5 sets as the teams battled it back and forth. Iowa State had 4 players finish in double-digit kills. Kansas State had 3. Shaylee Myers ended up with 20 kills on the evening for the Wildcats. 46 assists, though, for Ava LeGrand, but Iowa State able to power through where they've been successful when they've gone to 5 sets. 5-0 this season are the Cyclones when they see 5 sets.
Yeah, this team has shown some great resilience throughout the season. They're going to need to find that here again, down 1 set and down 9 points here in the second. Just really digging in, getting hot, seeing if they can, figure this K-State team out, because they've looked really steady, really calm, really comfortable so far today.
Yeah, and Kansas State, prior to that match earlier this season in Manhattan, had won 6 straight in this series. Iowa State leads the overall series, as you see. The last time Iowa State won here at home, back in 2021.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to matter where these teams are ranked, who has maybe had the better K-State and Iowa State matchup. It's always a good K-State's got the bit of the edge here lately.
And looking really good today.
Really good, really good.
hitting right at 300 for the match. Iowa State hitting at 074. And here's Kaylee Pond to serve. Martin to the outside. Tia with the roll. Tia again with the blast, handled by the Wildcats. And trying to go quickly that time was LeGrand. Why not when you're up 9?
She's had a lot of success with that shot there that time. Just gets a little bit too much on top of that ball. Wanted that one pretty bad, I think.
Iowa State trying to hold serve here for a while. Brenizer. LeGrand to Myers. And Shaylee Myers able to roll that off the block as K-State goes back up by 9.
K-State done a good job so far finding that soft spot in the Iowa State defense there in zone 4.
Tia, a little too strong, and another attack error by Iowa State. And it's a 10-point advantage for the Wildcats.
Yeah, Iowa State hitting negative 152 so far in this set. And that kind of tells the story where the score's at.
And K-State bringing their defense to as well on the road. It's been a factor in this one. LeGrand off the slide. Trying to go to Williams, Iowa State. Battling here as Martin goes to Tia. That time off the tape and off of the fingertips of Sims as the Cyclones get the side out.
Couple big rips there in that rally for Iowa State. Saw one out of the back row by Aaliyah Gouldsby and just taking advantage of that overpass. Nailing Tia, putting it away.
Tierney Jackson back out onto the floor for Ava Martin as Morgan Brandt in to serve. Williams off the slide, blocked back that time by Tia.
Great block move by Tia there. Knew she was going to be one-on-one with how tight that ball was and how active Ava LeGrand's been there. Just did a great job of lining up and shutting it down.
And a service error. Puts K-State back up by 9. Wildcats have won 6 matches on the road this season. Brandt to Jackson. Side out Iowa State.
Great run there by Morgan and Tierney. Great connection that they have. Speeding it up just a little bit. Provides that hole in the block for Tierney to hit right through.
And the key for the Wildcats, getting off to a good start. Jumped out to a 3-0 lead in the opening set. Jumped out to a 4-0 lead in the opener of the second set.
Really taking advantage of something that Iowa State has struggled with here lately.
Back row attack. Look out, that hit fingertips. Kansas State will get the point.
That's Shaylee Myers yet again. Now up to 9 kills on the day.
Yeah, and 22 chances, hitting right at 318. 8 digs as well for Myers. Brandt to Hendricks Walker, and that gets in.
Great job by Morgan Brandt there, going down to get that ball and popping it right up to her middle. Amiri Hendricks Walker putting that in a basically undefendable spot on the court there.
LeGrand to the outside. Taking a big swing was Fox. Now to Jackson. LeGrand back to this side. Clinton shot. Handled. Out of system here for K-State. And it pays off as Anaya Clinton hammers one home again.
Love that line shot there. We typically see Anaya Clinton on the outside, saw her on the right pin there in that serve-receive rotation. And wherever she's at, she's got a big arm.
What an afternoon for these Wildcats in particular. Clinton, it's their regular combo. When they play well, this triple goes well as it's an ace for Clinton. And we're at set point number 2 for K-State as they try to go up 2-0. Clinton ready to serve it again. And missed most of last season because of an injury, that time a little too strong.
Yeah, Coach Mansfield talked about their goal this year was just to keep her on the court, allow her to play, keep her healthy, put her in the best position to be successful, and they've done a great job of that. She's had a great season.
LeGrand to the outside to Myers. And that will do it. Kansas State takes the second set, 25-15. The Wildcats coming to play today in Ames as they're up 2-0 as you're watching Big 12 volleyball here on ESPN+.
Unlock more sports for one unbeatable price. Get unrivaled coverage all year long. Introducing the new ESPN Fox One bundle.
Nothing matters more than our community and our patients.
So when flu season's here, I love that I get to help protect them.
When you get your flu shot at Hy-Vee, you can earn a 20-cent fuel saver.
Scheduling your flu shot appointment is quick and convenient.
Because you can just walk up when you're shopping or schedule an appointment, whichever works for you.
Allowing you to pick a time that's best for you and your family.
Keeping families and communities healthy feels good. Visit your Hy-Vee pharmacy, get your flu shot, and earn a 20-cent fuel saver today.
Cyclone fans know it's worth the hype. Unleaded 88 is cheaper, cleaner, and greener than regular unleaded. Plus, it's renewable and grown by farmers, making Unleaded 88 the clear choice at the pump and totally worth the hype. Pump it up with Unleaded 88.
What we grow here defies expectation. Hungry minds searching for answers. Explorers of the impossible. Breakthroughs without end. People who see the world not as it is, but as it could be. You'd be amazed at what we grow here.
There has never been a better time to be part of the Big 12 than right now. This is a defining moment for all of us.
Big power hit from the outside.
There it is.
Stop! Back! Cannot go over. Down the line, big swing. There you go. And an ace.
You truly are a different league.
Introducing SportsCenter for you, personalized every single day. Now available on the ESPN app. Powered by your favorites.
Kansas State rolling into Ames and rolling through the first two sets here. They win 25-16 and 25-15 in the second set with Abby Griman on BJ Shaven here from Hilton Coliseum. As you look at the statistics, K-State hitting right at 274, Iowa State right at 089, and 14 attack errors. But the defense, the other side of it, K-State's been really good.
Yeah, they have. Iowa State's taken some great swings, but K-State just continues to dig, continues to hustle, getting great block touches. You see they've got 6 point scoring blocks so far. That's a big deal for them, much higher than their season average there. And when you play a team that's that good defensively, it forces you to try different things, to look for different shots, maybe get a little frustrated that your normal ones aren't falling. And I think you're seeing that happen for Iowa State, just not quite capitalizing the way that they normally do.
Well, as we take a look at the highlights, a lot of Shaylee Myers already in double figures in kills. She has been as advertised.
Yeah, certainly think she's on her way to a first team all Big 12 and, you know, maybe some all district, maybe even all American honors with the season that she's had. And I know it's been a journey for her at K-State, but a 4-year Wildcat and really capping it off with a tremendous senior season.
Myers hitting right at 360, and Iowa State trying to hang in there. 27 attempts so far for Nayeli Tia, 8 kills as she's been trying to work it hard.
Yeah, a lot more outside heavy from Iowa State that we've seen here today than we typically do. Brought on probably a lot by K-State's service pressure and just the relentless defense that they've been playing. But Tia's been taking some good swings, switching up her shots, really trying to work that K-State defense.
Well, it's the final match of the regular season as Selection Sunday is happening tomorrow, and we have a tremendous crew. Couldn't do it without them throughout the regular season here, bringing you Big 12 Conference volleyball from Hilton Coliseum in Ames. What a great group to work with. And Abby, it's been a lot of fun throughout this whole season, and we welcome you to the broadcast, here today as we look at the full-time staff here, led by Jared Calvert, Megan Goodhue, Phil Manley, Austin Minahan, Tyler Rutherford, Jeff Spauer, and Justin Wolber. Wow, what a year and what a production they put on throughout the year.
Yeah, it's been a really fun year for Iowa State volleyball here in Hilton Coliseum. You talk about some really big wins, almost had that undefeated season, took that first loss on Wednesday to Kansas, but, huge wins over a ranked Baylor team, a top 10 for most of the year Arizona State team. So a lot of fun. We've had some great crowds here in Hilton. Great sign for this Iowa State volleyball program going forward.
And Iowa State may be showing some effects after losing their first home match to Kansas the other night. We go to the third as K-State is up 2-0 again with Abby Griman on BJ Shaban. At Selection Sunday tomorrow at 5 p.m. we'll find out where these two teams are thought of with the NCAA selection committee. Big 12 Conference again getting 6 teams in last season, in position to get way more than that this year. If you look at the RPI, let's see if the selection committee agrees the same way. And I know, for Jason Mansfield and for K-State a couple of years ago, they thought they were in to the NCAA tournament, had an RPI, hovering right around 30. Had cake, had the celebration ready, and had to sit there and watch Selection Sunday to only find out that they did not get in. And he remembers that and not going to forget it. He said, he has his team focused and poised and ready today. There's no question.
Yeah, you can tell K-State's on a mission. They came here for one thing, and that's to win and to keep playing this season.
Pond with the terrific up that time, and it pays off as K-State for the third straight set starts with the opening point as Anaya Clinton is able to capitalize on it. Brandt hustled to get it. LeGrand off the slide. Van Gorp is there. Now Tia. Quick dump handled by Iowa State's middles. Myers blocked back. Sims with the up though. LeGrand outside to Myers again. The heavy swing, and that gets blocked down by Tierney Jackson. And for the first time in this match, we see a tie.
Yeah, that's crazy that this is the first time here in the third set with how back and forth these two teams usually are. But Tierney Jackson and Amiri Hendricks-Walker figuring out that block a little bit. That K-State outside set tends to fall inside a little bit. There we see them getting a much better lineup, getting 2 really great block touches and finally scoring the point there.
And a service error by Iowa State.
Yeah, that's one thing that has plagued Iowa State some this season. Can be really difficult to build up momentum, especially in a must-win set 3 like this, when you make a great play and then go back to the service line and miss a serve.
Shaylee Myers served it tough. Van Gorp is there. Durandi blocked back by Williams.
See Faith Durandi moving into the front row here. We've seen her so far some today in the back row. Have seen her play on the outside some this season and many times in seasons past. But Christy Johnson-Lynch looking for a little bit of a spark, looking to see who can be that offensive threat for Iowa State.
How about Shaylee Myers, her career at K-State as it comes to a regular season close here this afternoon. Now the service error. Freshman, lights out her freshman season. All Big 12. Injury riddled their sophomore year. Junior season kind of went through some of the motions, or a slump, if you will. But this year, not even considered preseason All Big 12. Then getting drafted and having a huge campaign as that one is kept alive by LeGrand. And Jackson blocked back again by Williams.
Yeah, great block there. But going back to Shaylee Myers, certainly a great story of resilience, and Coach Mansfield really was strong on that point when we talked to him, really praised her for not choosing to transfer, for sticking around, for really putting in the work and rebuilding her confidence and coming out and having a great senior season.
Emerson Van Lanen now. Brandt to the outside to Durandi. Good pancake with the up that time by Pawn. Durandi again blasted deep. Myers is there. LeGrand to the outside. Clinton's swing handled. Out of system for Iowa State. Durandi blocked back by LeGrand.
Yeah, no libero, no problem for K-State. They're in a rotation right now where typically one of their middles would be serving. We have Van Lanen in as a serving sub, but Kaylee Pond making a great up there. Good read, great hustle, kept that play alive.
Durandi with the high tip. K-State right back at it. Brandt to the back row, Tia. LeGrand goes to the middle. This one kept alive, though, with some hustle by Iowa State. Clinton's blast, long. Point Iowa State. They've got to hang in this opening phases of this set, don't you feel?
Absolutely. Really hard to come from behind when you're down already 2-0. Make that even harder for yourself if you get down early.
Clinton, very strong.
Yeah, so Iowa State sticking that 5-1 rotation there for an extra half a rotation to allow Tierney Jackson to serve. Clinton goes and takes advantage of that Morgan Brandt block there. Now we'll switch back into a 6-2, get Ava Martin and Lily Wackles back in.
Clinton with her 6th kill has 14 digs this afternoon, which leads Kansas State. What effort, and what an ace! LeGrand able to get one down.
Yeah, serve right off the tape. Those are great when you're serving them, not so great when you have to receive them. Really difficult to return.
That is the 6th ace of the match for K-State. Iowa State does not have an ace. Sims to the outside to Clinton. Again, they'll do it again. Clinton, what a hammer.
Couple out of system looks there for Anaya Clinton. Does a really good job of adjusting on that second one, looking for the edge of the block and scoring.
Ava will serve again. LeGrand to the outside this time to Fox. Goes back row Myers. Martin now setting for Iowa State as the Cyclones will get a much needed side out.
Yeah, Lily Wackles just switching up that shot, putting it right in the middle of the court. Force Shaylee Myers to come up and play that ball. I like that option. Even if you don't score there, you take her out of back row offense, which, as we've seen, she's been a force in.
Here's Faith Durandi, the 5'11 senior out of Pella. And we're going to see a net violation committed by K-State.
Yeah, Ava LeGrand in the back row there. She jumps, contacts that ball over the plane of the net. Missed set, supposed to be to the right side, but it ends up going over, which is a violation.
And Kansas State goes right to their middle to Brenna Schmidt, as it's another assist for Ava LeGrand.
Yeah, and Brenna Schmidt, an errorless 5 kills, hitting .625. She's taken the opportunities that LeGrand has given her today, and I really like the decisions that LeGrand is making, finding those right moments to distribute that ball, find some different hitters, give them good opportunities to score points.
Now 9 assists away for LeGrand to hitting 1,000 for the season. That's going to be blocked, but out. Iowa State will get the side out. You think about those numbers for LeGrand, 1,000 assists for somebody who wasn't I mean, had to battle for the position at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, she's really taken it and run.
Brenizer, tough serve. Here's Myers. Brenizer out of system. Wachholtz blocked back that time by Myers.
Yeah, out of system ball there. Good set from the middle. Abby Brenizer playing in that left back position as she's serving. Wachholtz just not quite able to capitalize. And the block continues to come up big for Kansas State, now at 10 on the match.
And left up and deposited down, Reagan Fox.
Seen Reagan Fox take some really strong swings today. She wasn't letting that one by her.
And a service error by Kansas State. Well, the Wildcats love playing in Ames. They've won 4 straight matches here.
Yeah, they do. And if Iowa State wants to avoid that, they need to utilize this rotation right here. A little bit of an interesting wrinkle here. No setter on the court. You've got Lily Wachholtz serving, and she puts it in ace.
The first of the day for Iowa State as Wachholtz able to get it done.
Yeah, like I was saying, you got Tierney Jackson on the right side. You got a big block up there. You're trying to get it with your serve and defense here to score some points.
Again, Wachholtz goes strong. Myers got it set well. Wachholtz again now will set the ball up for Tia. Opportunity on the overpass. Here we go. Again, interesting without a traditional center out on the court for Iowa State as Myers goes right through that block.
Yeah, it doesn't quite pay off there, but that rotation has been successful for Iowa State here in the past. Now we see Morgan Brandt coming back on for a more traditional look, but Wachholtz using her for her serve, certainly causing some chaos there, which is exactly what they want to do in that rotation.
Here's Kaylee Pond. Brandt trying to go feed the middle, and Kansas State again with Shaylee Myers. Now 13 kills, 6 away for 1,000 in her career.
Yeah, K-State just continues to be really composed in transition, you know, continuing to run that quick offense that they like, taking advantage of Iowa State being a little bit unorganized, trying to recover after that ball.
Timeout here by Iowa State. Been a dominant afternoon for the Kansas State Wildcats. We'll be back after this timeout as you're watching Big 12 Volleyball on ESPN+.
As much as we appreciate what our mechanics can do and who they are, no one looks forward to seeing the inside of an auto shop. Because if you're here, your car is too. And that means something's wrong. And likely it means an expensive repair bill. That is, unless you've called CarShield. When you call CarShield before your car breaks down, they have plans that cover up to 5,000 parts and systems of your car. Don't wait. Call CarShield today before it's too late.
Call 800-355-9536. Style or substance. Somehow, it became one or the other. But there is another choice. Not stopping until you have everything in the GMC Sierra.
During the GMC holiday event, get a total value of over $11,700 on this Sierra 1500 model when you trade in an eligible vehicle. That's 20% below MSRP.
And now leads at 13-8 here in the third set as the Wildcats have came to play. In fact, we've only seen one tie in this match and not a lead change. That's how dominant Kansas State has been here so far this afternoon.
Yeah, they took it right from that 3-0 start there in the first set and never really have looked back. Like we talked about, they came here on a mission. They don't want any uncertainty on whether they're making the NCAA tournament or not when they sit down for that selection show tomorrow.
Of course, a blizzard happening. Winter storm warnings throughout. Ames area expected to get close to 12 to 14 inches of snow. And the Wildcats playing like they're having fun out in the snow as Myers again gets the kill, as she is locked in and getting oh so close to 1,000 kills for her career.
Yeah, and we've seen Iowa State come back. They reverse swept West Virginia a few games ago, have gone 5-0 in 5-set matches, but they need to start making a move if they want to stick in this one.
Myers with a huge senior season with 463 kills now. Going again, blocked back that time by Jackson.
Big energy from the Cyclones there. Could use a few more of those momentum plays. Really need to capitalize on that now with Tia going back to the service line.
Iowa State unable to really hold the serve for many points today, too, as well as K-State defensively. Came in third in the Big 12 in digs per set. They have been all that and more here this afternoon. Myers gets that one in.
Yeah, she might get blocked once, but she's going to turn around and probably take an even bigger swing the next time. Adjust that shot a little bit, finds the deep corner. Great spot to put that ball as an outside.
15 kills today. Now just 4 away from hitting that milestone, and a service error as it's a 5-point set here. Cyclones will rotate in Brenizer. Iowa State now with a setter out on the court in Morgan Brandt. Goolsby also back in as Myers blocked back that time by Goolsby.
Yeah, a couple momentum plays here lately for the Cyclones. Rachel Van Gort back behind the end line. She's got a great serve. See if they can capitalize here and get a bit of a run going.
Leave it for Clinton, and that one's in. Side out, Kansas State.
When in doubt, Kansas State looks for those outside hitters, and they've been really good today.
Emerson Van Lannen. The DS back in. And a service error.
Kansas State giving up a couple of service errors here back to back. That's one thing if you're Coach Mansfield. You don't want to see them getting a little bit, you know, pulling that foot off the gas. You want to keep it on them. Don't want to give this Iowa State team any chances. And if you're Iowa State, you got to capitalize on a couple of these here.
Here's Tierney Jackson. Battle at the net can be won by LeGrand. Iowa State unable to get it over. What strength at the net by Ava LeGrand. Side out Kansas State.
Yeah, great play by her there. Cyclones are watching for it. They were up and ready, but just, you know, stronger second push by your setter there to get that point.
K-State has been running downhill all afternoon as their stars have shined in a big way. Martin leaves it for Tia, who couldn't get really square with the ball. Here's Clinton off of fingertips. Tia with the effort behind it. Opportunity now for the Wildcats. They go to the middle. Going to be kept up and pounded down by Brenna Schmidt.
Yeah, Brenna Schmidt continues her fantastic day here. And Ava LeGrand continues to just deal offensively, finding her hitters, putting them in great positions to be successful.
Iowa State will burn their final timeout. It is senior afternoon here for Iowa State as we close out the regular season. And for Kansas State, look at this. 5 for the Wildcats of seniors LeGrand, Myers, Schmidt, Williams, and Clinton. Collectively contributing in a big way for the Wildcats throughout this whole year.
Yeah, and 4 of these 5 players have been at K-State for all 4 years, which in today's day and age is getting a little bit less common, but Coach Mansfield really praised their loyalty, their ability to work really hard, even when they maybe didn't have the role that they maybe would have liked. And this year, all 5 of them contributing in huge ways to the success of this team.
And for Iowa State, got 6 seniors, Morgan Brandt, Tierney Jackson, Maya Duckworth, all contributing in major ways too as well. For the success that they've had, Amiri Hendricks-Walker battling back from injury partway through the season, just determined to get back out onto the court. Of course, Faith Durandi and Paula Kreslik all have had major contributions, not only this season, but throughout their entire career.
Yeah, absolutely. A couple full-term Cyclones on that list, a couple of transfers as well, but they've all made a huge impact here on this program, have done awesome things. You know, a lot of them etched their names into record books here at Iowa State.
18-12 Kansas State They won the opener 25-16, won the second set 25-15, and up here 18-12 and running towards 25 right now as Legrand will continue to be on the serve. Serves it tough. K-State with 6 aces today as Iowa State gets the much-needed side out.
Yeah, good recovery and a heavy swing down the line there from Lily Wachholtz. She just took a rip on that ball.
Here's Aaliyah Goolsby. Back leads this Iowa State team with 293 kills coming into the match today. And another service error for the Cyclones.
Yeah, Goolsby, a true freshman, started out the season great. Has seen some growing pains along the way, but has really come in and played a big role for this Iowa State team regardless. Added a lot of energy. Will be really fun to watch the way her career develops over the next few years.
Martin to the middle. Brenizer bumped up at the net by Schmidt. Myers went high. Van Gorp. And we're going to see that one hit the antenna. So it'll be ruled out. Kansas State will get the point. They go up 20-13.
Bit of a tight out-of-system set there for Rachel Van Gorp. Lily Wachholtz doing her best there, but not a whole lot you can do with that ball.
Now to Clinton. Martin to Wachholtz. Takes a big swing of the ball. Kansas State able to handle Sims towards the net to Myers. Iowa State will get the hard-earned point.
Another tight out-of-system set there, that time on the side of K-State. Lily Wachholtz taking advantage. I actually think Simone Sims pancaked that ball up. Great effort by her there, just not quite able to keep that play going.
Here's Brenizer. And it's an ace for Abby Brenizer. What a season for her, not really playing towards the till the tail end of the season. As Brenizer now with 7 aces on the year. That's 7 aces in 22 sets that she's played in, as K-State quickly turns it around though.
Yeah, you think about Middle sometimes being a little bit of a one-dimensional kind of player, but she goes back behind that service line and brings some heat.
Wachholtz. Lily Wachholtz, if you're looking for a bright spot today for Iowa State, she would be it.
Yeah, really taking advantage of getting this opportunity when Iowa State runs that 6-2 lineup. Taking great swings off of the right side today.
Hitting right at 333. Myers, Goolsby with the up. Out of system here. Tia goes down the line. Shouldn't say out of system. There's no center on the court for Iowa State again. Iowa State goes to Tia. Sims leaves it up for Myers, the blast. Van Gorp with the up. Wachholtz to the outside to Tia. Sims to Fox, and that'll do it for the point. As K-State is now 3 points away from coming into Ames and sweeping this match.
Yeah, great smart shot there by Reagan Fox. Putting some heat on that tip down the line.
On went deep. Now Morgan Brandt into Tierney Jackson. Just going to get it high enough as K-State now 2 points away from earning their 10th Big 12 conference win, which would be the most under Jason Mansfield, and also the 17 wins in the season would also be a high for K-State under Mansfield. Tia, Sims all over it. Now Myers. Brandt to Mary Hendricks Walker, and Iowa State will get it in.
Yeah, I like Morgan Brandt finding the middle there in a long rally. Becomes harder and harder to defend that spot. But Kaylee Pond and Simone Sims, what a duo defensively they've got back there. You see Sims move around. Traditionally, liberos play that left back position, but she's so good. She plays kind of all three depending on who she's playing next to.
See Hendricks Walker's numbers today. LeGrand battle at the net. Brandt leaves it to Hendricks Walker. And no touch. Iowa State will get the point. An attack error by Williams.
Like the idea there by Ava LeGrand. Love the quick transition to the middle. Very nearly a touch by Jordan Williams, just not quite.
To Tia again. Myers blast, blocked back that time by Hendricks Walker.
Cyclones not backing down yet, and Jason Mansfield can feel that a little bit. Taking his team to the sideline, regroup here. They only need 2 points to push to the end of this set.
It's the first time today Kansas State has used a timeout. Of course, these two teams battling it out, trying to get into the NCAA tournament. Iowa State in great shape, but K-State needs a win. They're trying to get their 5th win versus a ranked team and their 4th straight win versus Iowa State and Ames. Meanwhile, Iowa State trying to sweep the season series against the Wildcats and get their first win since 2021 here in Ames. And both teams, you know, trying to improve their, Iowa State really trying to improve their seeding. Kansas State wanting to enhance their chances.
Yeah, absolutely. And Iowa State right now, looking at the RPI, probably around a 6 seed. You know, looking regionally and some of the other rankings, RPI, if the committee goes based off of RPI, I would guess them going to Wisconsin or Purdue. Two really tough Big Ten teams. Iowa State would certainly like to improve their seeding there. And Kansas State, like you said, probably not going to be a seeded team, but, you know, an NCAA tournament berth is certainly enough for this team. They play hard. I think they can compete with a lot of teams in the tournament, maybe surprise a few people.
And down the stretch, they played really, really strong. Winners of 4 of their last 6 matches. And Jason Mansfield again telling us he doesn't really trust the committee because 2 years ago they had won 6 matches against the top 25 but didn't get their name called. Trying to change the direction on that here today. Myers blocked back. Opportunity, free ball here for Iowa State. Brandt to Mary Hendricks Walker. And that's going to be deflected as it was touched up on by K-State as Hendricks Walker will get the kill. Iowa State saying we're not done just yet. Taking a 7-point deficit down to 3, and we might see our first challenge of the day.
Yeah, K-State players seemed a little confused there, not quite sure who that touch would have been called on.
May have happened at the net as Williams was trying to challenge it with a block. So we'll see where this one will go as we'll watch it. You be the judge at home here. Was it touched?
After review, the ball is out, no touch. Kansas State wins the rally and retains their challenge.
So K-State gets the call reversed, and now we're at match point. 24-19.
And who else but Shaylee Myers back there at the service line to try and cap this one off.
Brandt to the outside to Tia. That's blocked up. Jackson now to Brandt, trying to go to Goolsby. And it will be an attack error, and Kansas State will come into Ames and sweep the Cyclones as they win it 25-19. So Kansas State on the afternoon hitting .233, holding Iowa State to .052 hitting as the Wildcats sweep the match here, winning it 3-0, and they improved to 10-8 in Big 12 conference play, and they get their 4th straight win here in Ames against Iowa State. In just a moment, we're going to be talking to our player of the game for Kansas State. But hey, the Wildcats making a statement here this afternoon.
Yeah, absolutely. To finish, not really in question much at all today. Played a really strong at the right time to be really successful here in the NCAA tournament.
Shaylee Myers is our player of the match here for Kansas State, finishing hitting at 196, but 16 kills on the afternoon, had an ace, 10 digs as well. And we'll be waiting to talk to her in just a moment, but let's take a look at the overall Big 12 conference for the NCAA selection committee. 11 teams as of Wednesday, 11 teams were in that top 50. Now we're looking at, 10 coming into the day. The Big 12 is going to have some great representation.
Yeah, absolutely. And Kansas State really looking to add their name to that list here.
Well, so the Wildcats sweep Iowa State here today, winning it 3-0 as they were dominant throughout the matches, and now joined by Shaylee Myers. And congrats on the win. The match, you guys seem very determined from the opening serve.
Yeah. I mean, we've been preparing for this for like a week now, so we wanted to come out, give it all we had, and I think that we did a really good job of that, and we stayed consistent with it.
Yeah, we talked to Coach Mansfield. He talked about a couple years ago, you guys thought you had a really great chance at the NCAA tournament. The selection committee didn't agree. Talk about kind of that mentality that you guys brought into this match and looking towards building to being able to play more volleyball this year.
Yeah, I mean, this is our last regular season game, so obviously regardless of the tournament or not, we wanted to go out strong, go out, everybody compete and do their best, but I mean, we're hoping to make the tournament. We don't know yet, but if not, it's a great way to go, but good preparation for the tournament too. That's a great team.
Well, Shaylee, what a week for you being drafted into Major League Volleyball.
Yeah.
Now you guys have won here in Ames to get another win against a ranked team.
Yep.
If you could be talking to the NCAA selection committee, what would you be telling them right now about your squad, why you deserve to be in the NCAA tournament?
I mean, I think we do deserve to be in the tournament. We put everything that we have into this. We have multiple ranked wins. I mean, these girls, we give our all to it, and not to say that any other team doesn't, but we definitely deserve a chance and a shot at it, and I think that we can do great things with it.
Well, congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
And we'll see how tomorrow plays out.
I know. All right. Thank you.
Best of luck. Well, Kansas State wins it 3-0. For Abby Greiman and our entire crew, I'm BJ Shaban saying so long here from Hilton Coliseum, where the final score is 3-0 Kansas State. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.